Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for everyone, and depending on what area you're in or whatnot, if you're affected by any of this, call us at 437-1620. And Eric, what made you decide? I mean, when you were going to law school, what made you decide to go into this area?
Well, I didn't decide until I got out of law school and got into practicing. I just kind of fell into it. Had a friend that needed to file a bankruptcy, and I said, "Do you do that?" And I was like, "No, but I'll give it a try." And that's how it all started. And I think it's something that's a good fit for me. I like working with numbers and budgets and that sort of thing. So it kind of fits my personality and what I like doing. That's something I can't stress enough, that people should budget. Need to know how much is coming in before you can send it out. And a lot of people that come in, they don't budget, or they kind of halfway budget, and they don't know really what they're bringing in each month. And there's no way you can survive long with not knowing what's coming in and where it's going. And prioritize and know the difference between a need and a want. There's a big difference. We think we need a lot of things, but when it comes down to it, we really don't.
No, we really don't. Yeah, and it's a lot of it's just really tough lessons. And I think, don't you think the credit card laws that are changing are helping too a little bit, maybe? That with you can't stand outside the college anymore and start signing up 17-year-old kids for credit cards and.
Right, that will help. It'll take a while before we see the effects of that, but that will help a lot. Just education in general in the schools. I didn't really receive a lot of that in the school. I received it from my parents, but not in the schools. Just the basic stuff, writing a check and stuff. Maybe writing a check's a little dated these days, but they don't teach that stuff in schools, and the kids kind of learn it on the go, hard knocks, and figure it out for themselves. And the ones that figure it out do all right. The ones that don't, well, nobody teaches them. And I think a lot of your financial habits are learned,
Mm-hmm.
and you learn it from your parents. And if your parents weren't taught the proper budgeting and that sort of thing, well, that kind of carries over to you, and
Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching my parents balancing their checkbook and paying bills and and they warned me about, things like overdraft fees. And now with overdraft fees, I mean, you bounce a check or two and, watch out, because
Right.
you're going to be just miserable.
Well, you get hit two ways. You get hit from your bank, you get with a fee, you get hit with the fee from whoever you wrote the check to, and then, if it's a bill, like a credit card or something like that, and then you've got late fees and interest, and, because we can and feel like it, fees and whatever else they want to tack onto you, and before you know it, your $50 check that you bounce cost you $200 or whatever
Mm-hmm.
the case may be. It can add up very quickly.
Yes, it can. 437-1620 is the number, and we would love to have your questions and your calls, and Eric can help you out with this. He's been doing it for a while. He's got the expertise and the background, and he can answer your questions. Would love to have your calls. And, of course, you don't want people to be in this situation, but the reality of it is that they're going to be. It's called real life. Things are going to happen to people, and it's not always directly their fault.
No, it's not. And I just like talking to the people and trying to help them out of their situation. Maybe they can avoid bankruptcy. Maybe it's just they need to talk to somebody and have somebody view it from a different perspective. This has become their life, and every day they're looking at their problems from the same perspective, and they just need a outside source that's not emotionally attached to their problems to look at it and say, well, if you do this or that, this could help you out, or maybe you want to try this option before you file a bankruptcy, what have you. So I encourage people to, when they start experiencing the problems, don't ignore them, and face them head on and get some information.
All right, we've got another call, and
Okay,
it looks
great.
like Renee. Hey, Renee, where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm Pensacola.
Okay, well, thanks so much for the call. You had a question?
Well, in a way, Eric sort of just answered it, but part of my question is, when do you know when things are so-called start to fall apart? I mean, how far do you wait? Because you see the commercials, and they always seem to be addressing it after the fact. We're nowhere near declaring bankruptcy, but we're just kind of holding our own. And if something were, the roof is going to come up, I'm sure, things like that. My point is, I have a lot of credit card debt, considerably, what some would consider considerable debt, but it's all at 2.9 or under.
Right.
And the last 11,000 of it, I've got it down to 8,000, and it's at a 0%, and I have to do something with that in September. So I have very good credit, and it's never affected me, and I don't know how come I'm still so lucky that they haven't. I got these life of the loan sort of things, and I've never missed a payment. I've always taken care to do that, and they've never done anything except one of the credit cards. They did lower my available credit, even though I've only got $3,000 to pay less on that, and that's at 2.9. But my husband was unemployed for 8 months. We just started having his income again. And at the same time, I had put off a remodel project in my kitchen for 2 years. And now with the oil spill and our property values going down, I'm still putting this kitchen in because I needed it. And it looks like, I'm looking ahead to see if we have something, any little kind of cog in the wheel now might mess us up. And I just want to know, who do you pay first? What do you let go? When do you see and consult a bankruptcy lawyer?
Well, you pay your mortgage, you pay your car payment, you pay your monthly.
We don't have car payments, so mortgage always first. Keep the house.
Pay your utilities, pay for your food and your basic necessities, and then if there's money left over, then you pay it to the credit cards.
And that's how it goes. Huh?
All right. It sounds like you're doing all right. It's just that something pops up, the car needs tires, or the refrigerator goes out.
Right.
It
we
could
have,
set you
some
off.
worth. We do own a property free and clear, and it's a rental property. And it brings some income. We had to take out of my husband's retirement while he was off or not working, and we don't owe cars. They're old cars. We pay them off and all that sort of thing. But we don't have a lot of extra money, and I do need a roof coming up. So it's not that I think that that's going to put me into bankruptcy, but everything seems so tenuous, and with the changes the credit card company was making, all the changes that have come, I wasn't sure how it would affect us, but so far they haven't raised our rates, and we're okay. We don't have we've never had any problems keeping our credit scores up with that.
Yeah, well, the important thing with you right now, it sounds like that you have those maybe you did a balance transfer or something like that, where you got a lifetime rate at a fixed rate. So 3
of the credit cards are definitely a lot older than just the one that I put in effect last year for the 11,000 at 0% was strictly to get us by. The other 3, one of them was it was an offer to us 8 years ago. And I'm just finishing it up, but still, I was glad to get 2.9% 8 years ago to buy a car, or 7 years ago. That's what it was, or maybe 5, whatever. It was just for the car. We literally put it on the credit card.
Right. Well, with your your interest rate's low. If you can make those payments, that's good. Now, as soon as you miss one of those payments, that interest rate's going to shoot up to whatever the max is.
Not only that, even though I never missed a payment, there was an occasion in which my payment did not get credited, and I had.
Renee, we're going to have to put you on hold.
No, that's okay.
Hold on. We've actually got to go take a break with our Dave McBride for a news update.
My point was just make sure you keep in your paperwork, because they do contest it.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead with the news tease, Dave.